You know, the one thing in life that you can be sure about is that you're going to make mistakes. Big ones, small ones. You know, the kind of mistakes that take your breath away and haunt you for the rest of your life. It happens. I've had to learn that the hard way. But this, right or wrong, this is something that I got to do for myself.
It's always good to recognize your mistakes, to be responsible and ultimately accountable for any errors or transgressions caused by you, and from a society perspective, breaking the rule of law. These truths about how our society is supposed to work are self evident and something by which most men understand and abide. In my previous video titled Who Are You, or The Aftermath of Red Pill Rage, asked an important existential question. Who are you? In many respects, this video follows along a natural progression to that one. Let's explore another facet of who we are. Are we the sum of our mistakes or the sum of our successes? And yes, I realize I'm polarizing the usual phrase, we are the sum of our experiences. But for the sake of this video, let's drill down into a very human trait, being at odds with yourself. That is the subject of this episode of the XT Files. Again, I turn to Babylon 5 and a conflicted character named Michael Garibaldi who delivers this line, and is it ever perfect for a man finally laying claim to his own life, to himself, to a red pill existence? As I quoted at the beginning, define yourself by what is right about you, not what is wrong. So let's look into that. Self-awareness on any meaningful level seems to be in short supply these days, in most people, or at least it sure seems that way. If it is there, it isn't as evident in how folks are acting, or in many cases, acting out. The second part of that quote says not to define yourself by what is wrong. And I meant that, but that does not give a pass for your foibles and character flaws that are getting in your way. As the saying goes, knowing there is a problem is the first step in fixing it. So let's tackle this using Voltaire, a nom de plume for François-Marie Arouet, a French writer, historian, and philosopher who still carries influence today. One of the quotes we often hear comes from his novella Candide, which is, "It's up to us to cultivate our garden." Words to live by, I would reckon. The red pill life, as we mgtow men call it, can seem stark once the euphoria wears off, with your new life right in front of you, like a blank canvas and you're Bob Ross wanting to paint some trees on it. But what paints do you have to work with? The personal victories and wins you have in your life usually did not happen the first time around, or as quickly as you would have liked, or were perhaps gradual in nature, like bodybuilding or losing weight. Most successes start with failure. Failure and mistakes drive the need to win. It's the taskmaster that fosters improvement and the determination to move forward. We push through the pain because we understand and know that on the other side of that pain is the victory we are seeking. The red pill is the key to a forge, and you are the blacksmith and raw material, all wrapped in one. My own experience has taught me that silly contradictions are just another expression of the wisdom and need for balance in all things. Be patient but impatient when it's needed. Be restless but find peace inside. Be stoic but do not shun sensitivity. Be diplomatic, but don't take no for an answer. These sound a bit cliche, but there is wisdom in the converse of things, the needed variables required to balance an equation.
He who questions training only trains himself at asking questions.
What?
Patience, my son. To summon your power for the conflict to come, you must first have power over that which conflicts you.
Okay, am I the only one who finds these sayings just a little bit formulaic? If you want to push something down, you have to pull it up. If you want to go left, you have to go right.
Your temper is very quick, my friend. But until you learn to master your rage...
Your rage will become your master? That's what you were going to say, right? Right?
Not necessarily.
Rage can become your master, but like all energy, it can be put to good use when it manifests. I believe most men know this instinctively, but if you don't, then know that how rage is expressed can be positive. So many ways in which to do it, and as always, unique to you and your circumstance. Like working at a punching bag. Doing Tai Chi. Or whatever makes you happy.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
The important takeaway here is that any negative emotion like self-doubt, low self-respect can be countered by treating yourself with a little self-love. Yes, I said it. Because if you loved yourself a tenth as much as you did some hypergamous, manipulative female, then think of what might be different about your state of mind and physical health today. Don't ever expect others to treat you with fairness or balance. Just appreciate it when it does happen. Being good to ourselves isn't selfish, it is vital to our survival. And never be ashamed of that truth. Because think of how many times you were guilted into giving into the selfish demands of women, or even blue-pilled white knights working on their behalf, all at your expense. One of the reasons why shaming tactics used to work, or for some of you still do, is because we are conditioned to feel guilt. It is a huge way that humans manipulate each other constantly. It is the underpinning of social and emotional blackmail. And while many would say that guilt is an important expression of our conscience, which I agree, it is still ephemeral in nature. The red pill is like an immunization for this particular type of virus, and it helps with the worst guilt of all, your own. Learn to recognize what actual guilt belongs to you and what doesn't, and then learn to release its power over you. If there is something you need to do to improve yourself, then go and fucking do it. Quit ruminating on it day after day, week after week. Action is the best cure for procrastination, gentlemen. And did I mention it also makes depression go away? Reliving the past, obsessing on how unfairly you may have been treated or why and how it all happened, does not change the fact that it's still behind you. The red pill reveals a new reality and path. Hell, any path away from the person you once were into the person you want and can become. Get that crap out of your head. Take your daily dose of red pills, get up, and go for a brisk walk or a run. This is your life, after all, and those are your feet you're staring at, so put them one in front of the other and go your own way. We are the sum of our experiences, the tracks left behind us that have helped shape who we are and can still become. How each of you will interpret this will be different, but I'll wager quite similar to one another nonetheless. You are limited only by your own imagination and willpower. You cannot change what you've done, but you sure as hell have the power over what you do now. If you are plagued by incessant self-doubt or guilt, then think of it as your red pill muse telling you it's time to slog forward. Each step will get easy as you get stronger. Kaizen. Isn't it interesting how we think something, a nagging thought or repeating notion, and the world responds inexplicably to us as though some cosmic force is reading our mind? I see this all the time in the content of mgtow, YouTubers, Reddit forums, out in public, and it never ceases to amaze me. But what it tells me is that the phenomenon of men going their own way is based on certain epiphanies that are quite universal in context. My own expression of red pill philosophy is evidenced in the making of these videos. It's my way of moving forward and growing. You can do this too. So it's time to get started. Inspiration comes in many forms, from real-life people to even fictional ones, but the message is still the same. And while it may be subjected to the lens of your own experience and perceptions, I think the metaphor still holds a whole lot of meaning for many of us. And finally, I just want to say that every day is going to be mired in the slowness of time. Results will not always be immediate, of course, and we know that, but I know how it can feel. But it doesn't stop you from putting your foot forward and just seeing how far you can really go. So go out and find out just how far you can go, because now you're free in a way that you hadn't been before. Use this time for you, for the good of yourself, and hell, if it's for the good of humans, all the better. But ultimately, it's your path.
For no particular reason, I decided to go for a little run. So I ran to the end of the road, and when I got there, I thought maybe I'd run to the end of town.
President Carter, suffering from heat exhaustion, fell into the arms
And when I got there, I thought maybe I'd just run across Greenbow County. And I figured since I run this far, maybe I'd just run across the great state of Alabama. And that's what I did. I ran clear across Alabama. For no particular reason, I just kept on going. I ran clear to the ocean. And when I got there, I figured since I'd gone this far, I might as well turn around, just keep on going. When I got to another ocean, I figured since I'd gone this far, I might as well just turn back, keep right on going. When I got tired, I slept. When I got hungry, I ate. When I had to go, I went.
And so you just ran.
Yeah.
I hope those of you watching find value, and I ask that you share my content as I work to grow the XT Files channel. I look forward to your comments below. Thank you for watching the XT Files. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. Share and subscribe to annoy all girlfriends. Click on the bell icon for notification of new videos. If you're so inclined, toss some coins into my PayPal tip jar or support me on Patreon. It is always very appreciated. Links are below. Have a great day, gents, and I'll see you on the Red Pill Highway.